All right, guys. So, welcome to my next Q&A, which, as you can see, Jurassic Park. So, if you guys would like to be part of the next Q&A, just hit the link in the description box below. Head on over to my Patreon. You hit the first tier. That'll allow you access to do so, and be part of the next Q&A when I post the announcement for it. And it also allows you on the first tier to check out polls as well as episode and movie reviews. I had just done my review. This is the most recent one of Until Dawn. I'm also going to be doing, like I said, I've been doing the reviews for Andor Season 2, so if you want to get my thoughts on that, hit the link. Head on over there for the first tier. Other than that, I want to thank everyone, and let's get started with the video. So first set of questions come from Nolan Unejo, who asks, first question is, I remember you asking... I remember you had the idea of a predator hunting Jurassic Park dinosaurs. So what would that predator look like in that story? So I did a lot of a few years ago. I did a lot of like Predator Jurassic Park crossovers because I thought that'd be just so perfect. But I don't see that ever happening now because there was like Dark Horse and technically IDW could have done that. But I don't see that happening now with Universal and now Predator under Disney. That's never going to happen. But how I would make this Predator, like how I would utilize him, is probably have like a raptor skull on his shoulder, kind of like it very much invoke the Jungle Hunter and a little bit of the Feral Predator. Have the skull, have the mask with dino teeth on the jaw, like take dinosaur jawbones and attach it to the helmet. Again, like just dinosaur skull, just a lot of like dinosaur bones decked out everywhere, and give him a little more jungle camo. Like I said, very much invoke that Jungle Hunter from the first Predator, but give him more of like a feral vibe. There you go. Second question. If you could design your own Jurassic Park game, how would you do it? The Jurassic Park game is kind of in development right now with the Jurassic Park. I forget the name. Jurassic Park. Survival. It's a survival horror game. That's what we've all wanted for so long with a Jurassic Park game, is a survival horror game, and it's from Saber Entertainment, the same people who did Space Marine 2 and 3, which will be coming out later. But yeah, I hope that game has been kind of silent, and it has been pushed back, probably because of reasons, probably because of all the stuff with Space Marine, as well as Jurassic Park Rebirth, or Jurassic World Rebirth. I'm hoping it's still in development, man. I've heard dick all. I'm hoping we get like maybe a sometime 2026 release. That's what I'm hoping for. Just please give us that game. It looks so good. But how I would make it is, again, a survival horror game. Where I would set it, though, I know in the upcoming game of Jurassic Park Survival, I think that's the title. Anyway, that one's going to be set right after Jurassic Park, the first game. The first movie. Where I would put my Jurassic Park survival game, though, is like somewhere nebulously between Lost World and JP3. So my idea would be like you and I would actually take a lot of Until Dawn inspiration in here, where essentially it's like you and a few other survivors just basically crash land on Isla Sorna, and because now you've like everyone knows that Isla Sorna, like what the island is, because after the whole thing with the San Diego incident, they're now like people are aware of like, oh shit, we're on the island. And here I would have it that you have to keep as many survivors as alive throughout the game. So yeah, I would also have, again, it's a survival horror. You have to like keep as many characters alive throughout the game, and I would have it like maybe be like 5 or 6 survivors, and you have to like find a way to get help. I would have a way to like use flares. You don't have a lot. There's no like guns, but I would have it that you find like old containment weaponry. So you have like tranq darts as well as like cattle prods, but don't have a lot of charge. So you got to use that charge sparingly if you have it. And other times, just use like a melee weapon. But that's only against like medium-sized dinosaurs, or you could use that against a raptor. when it comes to like the T-Rex, or even I would have the Spinosaurus here, it would be like, you just gotta fucking run and hide. That's all you can do. That would be the idea, honestly. I would also bring in probably, like, I know we've had Giga and whatnot, but I'd actually have Carcharodontosaurus in here as well. Maybe finally have Deinosuchus as well. That'd be cool. Yeah. Sorry. So that's just kind of a loose idea. Third question. Do you think Godzilla would like living in Jurassic Park? Probably. I think he would like to stay there, and because it would remind him of something primal, like something that from a lost era of his. So I think he would actually like to stay there. I think he would enjoy it. Anyway, thank you for those questions, Nolan. Moving on now to Hunter Johnson, whose first question is, Hunter Johnson's first question is, will we ever get a remake of the first Jurassic Park film that adapts the novel as well as turning it into an R-rated horror film? I don't think so. Well, never say never. That's the other thing, is like you can never really predict this kind of shit. So I would probably say never, but I don't think it's going to happen. But who knows? If Rebirth fails, there's probably a lot of talk of remake. I would say, like, if Rebirth fails, Universal, because they want to keep this franchise, because this Jurassic Park is their like Star Wars. They want it to compete and be like Star Wars. So there's a chance, honestly, that if Rebirth fails, they could talk about doing a remake. But having it closer to the book, that's a different story entirely. So I'd say probably not, but never say never. There you go. Second question: would you compare and contrast? How would you compare and contrast Owen and Blue's relationship with Ash and Pikachu's relationship? It's totally different. Blue, at the end of the day, is still a wild animal, and Pikachu's is just a caring, cuddly buddy. It's like comparing apples and oranges. You can't do it. Third question: do you think Dotson's death in Dominion? Represents irony and a bit of karma? Yeah. Dominion is complete ass, if I'm being honest. But I will say that it was kind of ironic. Irony in the sense that he was killed by a Dilophosaur like Nedry was, I guess. Anyway, thank you for those questions, Hunter. Moving on now to Jason Voorhees 2011, who asks, have you ever read the Jurassic Park comics? Have I read the Jurassic Park comics? Wait right here. I'm so professional on this channel. Just wait right here. Have I read the Jurassic Park comics? Have I read the Jurassic Park? Have I read the Jurassic Park comics? Oh man. Let me answer this question with this. Does this answer your question, sir? Yeah. So I don't have all of them. I have one of the IDW Jurassic Park books and some of the reprints of the Jurassic Park Topps comics, the Topps comics are fucking insane. I'm gonna be honest. I don't have all of them, and they came in these weird hardcover trades. These are I got these off thrift books, and they came from a public library. But they have these weird hardcovers to them, and that only collect a few issues, and I only have like a few of the volumes, so I'm still trying to look for those. This is Jurassic Park Dangerous Games, which is about a operative who gets sent to, who goes to Isla Sorna to bust a drug ring, and it has feathered raptors and a woman who worships the T-Rex like a goddess. They're fucking crazy, man. So yes, I have read some of them. Anyway, what director would you like to see tackle a JP film after Rebirth? Michael Dougherty. Michael Dougherty, I think, would be really cool. He definitely understands, like, obviously he did Krampus, he did Trick or Treat, and of course Godzilla King of the Monsters. So I would say that I would say Dougherty's kind of the perfect pick. I think he would give a lot of scale and just give a lot of that horror vibe for the dinosaurs. But yeah, I would say him. He's kind of my first pick. He's kind of my first and only pick, really, is Michael Dougherty. Yeah. Anyway, third question. Have you seen any of the insane plans for a fourth Jurassic Park between 3 and World? And is it compared to the final project we got? The insane, like the dino-human hybrids, we still could get that. I never put it past them to do like a actual like dino-human hybrid shit. At all. Like, that could easily still happen in some capacity, if I'm being honest. But, yeah, the fourth, like, having soldiers that could talk and shoot guns, it was crazy for that, the original product of what Jurassic Park 4 was supposed to be, and what it became World. Just, what the fuck? Thank you for those questions, Jason. Moving on now to David Deister, who asks, what would a Land Before Time Jurassic Park crossover look like? Really bad. That's your answer right there. Just really bad. Second question. I already answered this question. I guess for a reboot, like I said, I already answered this question. I'm sorry, David. What is your ranking for the JP movies, best to worst? Okay, this one I can answer. I can give like a solid answer. Like, if we're because obviously Rebirth hasn't come out, so that'll be a ranking list for another time. But of the 6 movies we have gotten from Jurassic Park and the Jurassic franchise on a whole, I'd say bottom of the list, Dominion. That movie fucking sucked so hard. It was so. I have not watched it since. I've tried to give it. I wanted to give it a chance, but every time I try to, I'm just like, I can't do it. There's nothing here. It's just unnecessary set pieces, characters that are there for just nostalgia bait. It is literally the epitome of one of those movies where it's like it's everything wrong with cinema, if I'm being honest. So Dominion is just ass, just absolute garbage. I would say for next, Fallen Kingdom. Fallen Kingdom is just on, like, I would banty between 3 and 4. I mean, 3 and Fallen Kingdom. But after watching Dominion and then rewatching recently Fallen Kingdom, I'm just kind of the mindset of, I owe JP3 an apology, because that was for the longest time, a horrible movie. The worst Jurassic Park movie was JP3. But I will say, this Fallen Kingdom has a solid opener, but then that second act at Lockwood Manor, and granted, J.A. Biona is a great horror director, but he was clear he was constrained by higher ups in this film, if I'm being honest. There's a few great horror scenes here and there, but this movie is just bad. Just shit bad. And again, that ending, they're alive. Like me. I fucking hated Maisie, or whatever the fuck her name was. Anyway, speaking of JP3. Yeah, JP3, I owe it an apology. There's still a lot of things I don't like the Kirby family. I don't like Grant's sidekick, Billy. I think he's just kind of bland. I will say that the Spinosaurus is a great character, and again, it was really cool. Like, it was the last time we had solid practical effects. Not that, Jurassic like Dominion and Fallen Kingdom had practical effects, but they felt so like stilted and puppet-like. Whereas the first three Jurassic Park movies, they still had like things that made you feel like it was a real animal, or something like of that nature. And again, Spinosaurus was awesome. The fight with the T-Rex is pretty cool. The raptors are scary. This actually had some really good horror elements to it. I think it could, like, again, the script is pretty awful. It is cool to see Sam Neill back as Dr. Grant, and and Grant carries the movie, if I'm being honest. Like, just he's the only thing like keeping the movie going. So, and again, I think I'll talk about it more, but yeah, JP3, I owe an apology to. It's not as awful. It's bad, but not as awful as the other two films I just mentioned. Next up, Jurassic World. There are problems I have with Jurassic World, but I will say that I think it was a good opener for the new trilogy. Owen and Claire had a lot of potential that got ruined. The Indominus, it's all right. It's pretty cool. But there's things wrong with it, and the only reason I give it a little more edge over Jurassic Park 3 is because I feel like there's a story here, and there's a lot of great setup to a franchise that just fell apart. So yeah. Next up, these last two always like flip flop for me. It really does, like, these two can be my favorite a given day. So I'm gonna say Lost World, because that was actually my first Jurassic Park movie, and I absolutely loved it was a more horror theme. It had more dinosaurs. There was just a brutal kill scenes. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Next, and of course, Jurassic Park at number 1. It's kind of obvious. Anyway, thank you for those questions, David. Moving on now to Bill McLaughlin, who asks, what was your favorite kill in Jurassic Park? Favorite kill? I would say, what's his name? Eddie. Yeah, Eddie's death in Lost World, where he's just fucking ripped in half. I know that's kind of an obvious one, but it's such a great setup, and like just the fear and terror factor of it. Also, the pilot from Jurassic Park 3, where the Spinosaurus just rips the ship, bites his leg, and then like toys with him a bit. So it was always fun to see. That was a good one. So those would be, but I think Eddie's death is probably my favorite. Oh, of course, you can't deny Nedry's death either. Second question. Favorite character in Jurassic Park? I'm going to assume human character. So I'm going to say, like, for human characters, Grant. Favorite character would be Grant. Definitely. Just like, he's a normal human dude who got thrown into a situation and had a lot of great character development of, like, not wanting kids to be kind of cool. Ellie's also really good. Of course, Malcolm. None of Jurassic World outside of the animated characters from Camp Cretaceous, which I think they're the only ones. The Camp Cretaceous kids are the only characters in the World franchise I really just give a shit about. It's all Jurassic Park. But if like someone said, like, who's your favorite character, not even thinking about it, it's Dr. Grant. He made me want to be a paleontologist when I was a kid. Yeah, the character. Third question. What are your thoughts on Jurassic Park 3? Like I said, I'm going to answer this because that was in a ranking video, so this is technically its own thing, and I give a little more thoughts to it. Like I said, I owe that movie an apology. I really do, because it's not good. In fact, the script was rewritten twice. I think once like weeks before shooting, and another time midway through. So that movie, I was curious to see what the original plot was, because it sounded more horror-driven than anything else in the original script. But the movie they had, the movie JP3 is not awful compared to what we got with the Jurassic World franchise. Again, Spinosaurus, great villain. Incredibly inaccurate, paleo inaccurate, very paleo inaccurate, but it's later been revealed that it was a proto hybrid of sorts. So that's why it looks like the way it does. So I accept that. I love the raptors in there, the pteranodons. I think the pteranodons scenes are probably the best scenes in there outside the Spinosaurus stuff. Again, the human characters outside of Grant, everyone just sucks. Like, everyone outside of Grant sucks. Not to knock the actors themselves, I'm not knocking the actors, but everyone just sucks outside of Grant. I don't know if it was the writing or the rewrites, but shit. Holy shit, man. So I'm going to say it's a fine movie. I wouldn't say it's my go-to, but like I said, I feel like after how bad the Jurassic World franchise has taken a nosedive, I owe that movie an apology, man. Anyway, thank you for those questions, Bill. Moving on now to Tom Hibbert, whose first question is, do you think John Hammond works better in the movies than he does in the book, considering while in the movie... Yeah, okay. Basically asking, does he work better in the movie than the book? Because in the book, for those who don't know, John Hammond was like the super capitalist asshole who even like blamed his grandchildren for the fall of it and got killed by the compies in the book. In here, it's more of like this idealist Walt Disney kind of idea where it's like, it's kind of like a dangerous capitalist, but he doesn't understand the power that he has. He works better in the movie. He works way better in the movie because, like, he's not evil. He's not an asshole. And you see what he's trying to be. Like, again, like Tom said in his question, is like, he's trying to be like a Walt Disney, but he doesn't understand. He's like, again, like how Malcolm said it, is like, you're like the kid who found his dad's gun. You don't know the power you have. So I appreciate that he is, I do really appreciate that he's better. He's more likable in the movie. But the book, he's such a dick. It's so weird to like read the book and to see the differences between the movie and him. Yeah. So I personally, he works better in the movie. Second question. Do you feel like the Jurassic World Dominion's message of we must learn to work together, live together is a middle finger to the first movie, considering the film's message? Yeah. Some things are just meant to, yeah. I've said this before, is like this movie, like that movie's whole thing of like coexistence. I'm like, do you not understand that the environment that these dinosaurs need to exist to live in, compared to what it was before, is not there anymore, and now they have to compete with other animals and could possibly outcompete already endangered species? I've done whole videos talking about this, but yeah, it literally is the dumbest fucking message, and I really hope what's his fucking face, the director of World and Dominion, like, I don't want him to touch another fucking Jurassic Park movie again. I don't want him to try to touch any major franchise again. I fucking hate it. I think he fucking sucks. Anyway. Third question. We've had the Camp Cretaceous animated series, but considering theme parks are very popular in Japan, how would you do a Jurassic Park anime based in Japan? Well, Jason mentioned there is a really good manga, which I'm going to recommend to all of you out there, called Dinosaur Sanctuary. It's basically, what if Jurassic Park worked? And it's also what kind of something I wanted from a Jurassic Park show, is like kind of like a zoo show, but with dinosaurs instead. It's really cute. My girlfriend and I really enjoy it. I think it's also got very paleo accurate dinosaurs. They're very adorable. It's a very great slice of life story. It's nothing horror. Like, there's no, like, oh, the shoe dropped and now it's a horror show. No, it's not. It's just, these dinosaurs are animals and they act like animals. And they're being treated like, they're not being treated like monsters. They're like, there are zookeepers who are like, treat the dinosaurs like their own, not like pets, but like, they treat them with like nothing but the utmost respect for these animals. Like, there's some great moments in here in some of the later volumes where one of the characters like comes up to an Allosaurus, and the Allosaurus like gets all excited, like its head perks up and it starts like calling to him, and it's like, and it's kind of like, again, there's actual science applied to that. And I know I'm going in a tangent, but this is how I kind of would imagine it. Is like, there's a great moment where they apply science to it. It was like, birds and dinosaurs are closely related. So, and birds get very excited and like they really hone in on certain people. Like they connect with certain zookeepers. So this Allosaur just comes up to the zookeeper and is just like nuzzling him, and it's like, this is an apex predator, just nuzzling the guy. He's like, okay, I'm happy to see you too, buddy. Anyway, as I was saying, getting back to this, for a Jurassic, getting back on topic, I just wanted to really recommend Dinosaur Sanctuary because I have never talked about it, and I'm such a dinosaur nerd. I really want to talk about it. Anyway, what was it? Yeah, getting back to this though, I would say like a Jurassic Park anime, a Jurassic World anime set in Japan. Probably have it set during Dominion or in between Fallen Kingdom and Dominion, and have it that dinosaurs are starting to appear, and have it even maybe InGen had stations in Japan. Like this is like some of their research facilities were like based in Japan. A accident happened and the dinosaurs got free. Maybe even used like Fukui Raptor, Fukuisaurus. There's an area in Japan called Fukui, and they have a lot of dinosaurs. That's where a lot of dinosaurs existed. So I have like a lot of Japan-based dinosaurs. There you go. Anyway, thank you for those questions, Tom. Moving on now to Alistair Bondman, who asks, while Camp Cretaceous and Chaos Theory have had their flaws in the shows, do you agree that the common sentiment that they've done with the plots of Dominion and Fallen Kingdom and the whole dino invasion in the mainland area more justice than the movies? Absolutely. Like it's not even close. They've done more work to be like the Clone Wars to the Star Wars prequels. Because let's be honest, the Star Wars prequels, as much as we love them, do have a lot of flaws that Clone Wars went overtime to fix and give you more appreciation for. That, and again, like Chaos Theory and Camp Cretaceous are basically the Clone Wars to the Jurassic World saga. So, yeah, I think they've done better work with it and given, what we wanted from the Jurassic World movies. Second question: how would you do your own? How would you write a Dino Crisis Jurassic Park crossover? Probably have Regina hired by InGen to go to Isla Sorna, something like that, off the top of my head. If you were put in charge of any of the parks or any kind of real life de-extinction zoo, like Prehistoric Park and others, to tackle this idea, how would you run it, and what species would you first pick, with no restrictions on the time period from the future? Like, you can get animals before dinosaurs and after the rise of man. Probably, like, I have that's a really big responsibility, if I'm being honest. That is a massive responsibility you are putting on me, sir. But I would say, like, Carcharodontosaurus would be a fun one. I think he doesn't get enough love. Probably Acrocanthosaurus. We're going prehistoric mammals. I'd say the hell pig or Arctodus. A couple ideas right there. Thank you for those questions, Alistair. Moving on now to Brittany Digger, who asks, with recent news of dire wolves being brought back, do you think Jurassic Park themes of dangerous consequences of genetic engineering and playing God are more relevant now? Yeah, the whole dire wolves things, which they're not really dire wolves, they're just altered gray wolves, but there's a whole thing. And again, we've had 6 movies, almost now 7 movies, talking about, like, don't fucking do this. But science is just like, we're gonna fucking do it. Now, I do get it, like, it's not like with dinosaurs, where it's like like Malcolm said, like, oh, dinosaurs had their shot, and they got wiped off the map. Here it's a little different. The dire wolves got extinct through other reasons. But what, like, the problem is that these, we're going to just go bigger because we think we can. And, it's, again, going back to Malcolm, where it's like, you did these things because you could, not that you should. So I'm just afraid that we just opened Pandora's box and we can't close it now. Do I think it's cool? Yeah, but I also understand that this is a really bad idea. We've had 6 movies saying no. It's kind of like with AI, where it's like, we've had how many Terminator movies saying this is a bad idea? Question 2. Do you think Lost World sequel should be more faithful to the novel or fine the way it is? I guess if we're talking, the Lost World. If we're talking about the book, I think like the book and the movie. If you think the Jurassic Park novel and movie are different, you have yet to see the differences between Lost World and the movie, like the book and the movie, because they are two vastly different things. They are incredibly different. I would say, yeah, it's a bigger horror show. There's a lot more characters, and also the chameleon carnivores are really cool. We don't get any of that, except we do get the chameleon carnivores in the Lost World arcade game, if anyone remembers that. But yeah, it's super different. Third question. Did you play the Telltale Jurassic Park game? No, but I've seen gameplay footage. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a solid Jurassic Park survival horror game. The Troodons were fucking scary. If I'm being honest, they were fucking terrifying. Anyway, thank you for those questions, Brittany. Moving on now to Mount Vernon Kid. What's up, Chris? Favorite dinosaur to appear in the franchise? So my favorite dinosaur is Triceratops, but the biggest thing they ever got was just a sick Triceratops. That was the highlight. So I would say my favorite, probably, and it's such a basic bitch answer, but it's the T-Rex. The T-Rex, I would also say the Raptors. Even though they're not really Velociraptors, they're Deinonychus, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah. That's just kind of that's just my thing. So I'd say T-Rex, and there you go. Did you feel bad when the Brachiosaurus died in Jurassic Park Fallen Kingdom? Yeah, it was unnecessary. It was completely unnecessary to do it, too. It's like, oh, the hope and wonder of the park is gone. That's the symbolism of the death. But the wonder was part of the movie. Now you're just making it dumb. Yeah. I still get a little teary-eyed seeing whenever I go watch Jurassic Park. I get a little emotional hearing that music with seeing the first Brachiosaurus. So, which is technically not a Brachiosaurus. It's called a Giraffatitan. It's a whole thing. I'm not going to get into it. But yeah, it was dumb. It's fucking stupid. Third question. Are you glad we're seeing feathered dinosaurs now? Absolutely. As a paleo-accurate nerd, I fucking love the fact that we are getting those kind of dinosaurs. Like, we are getting paleo-accurate dinosaurs. It's so good to see. Like, it is just so good to see that. And hopefully we get more. Because I know people are saying, oh, feathered dinosaurs can't be scary. Like, there's no way. Have you seen a cassowary? Motherfucker, I'd be shitting my pants the moment I would, if I'm lost in the Australian jungle and see, of all things, a cassowary, look at me, immediately turning my pants brown. So, imagine that. 9 feet longer, teeth, and claws on hands. Yeah. Thank you for those questions, Chris. Moving on now to Gordon Rajani, who asks, I know it's a common question, but if you could include other extinct animals other than dinosaurs in this movies, which would you pick? We got Smilodon, which was kind of underwhelming in Jurassic Park Camp Cretaceous. It did get eaten by the Spino. But I wish we got an actual Smilodon, maybe a mammoth. Mammoth would be cool. Or my personal favorite of the prehistoric mammals, giant sloth. That'd be really fun. I would really like to see Arctodus, the cave bear. That'd be terrifying. Those are just to name a few. And also, if we're talking non-dinosaurs from the Triassic period, because it's not a dinosaur, it's a synapsid. It's different. Gorgonopsid. Yeah, Gorgonopsid would be fucking terrifying. Anyway, thank you for that question. Your second one is, which version of Jurassic Park do you prefer, movie or book? I love the book. Don't get it twisted. I really love the book, but yeah, I would say I like the movie more. I just have more I have nostalgia for it. It gives me a lot. It's a movie I can come back to again and again and again and really love it. I love the book, but I say the movie. Anyway, third question I already answered, which was favorite humans from the Jurassic Park movie. So sorry, Gordon, but I gotta skip that question. But other than that, yeah, looks like those are all the questions for the Q&A. I want to thank everyone who sent in questions for this Q&A. And like I said, to anyone out there watching this, if you would like to be part of the next Q&A whenever I announce it, hit the link in the description box below, head on over to my Patreon, hit the first tier, that'll allow you access to do so. But other than that, I hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.